So it could also be the absence of something.
Yes,
It could
absolutely.
be, say here, we'll go back to my elephant here because I feel a little nervous.
Listen, if I hadn't eaten in 3 days, that's a big elephant. I'm hungry, man, and I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
I want to eat.
So the absence is food in that case.
Yes.
Okay. So in one
Self-esteem.
yes, is kind of what I was going to. But one thing is, if we have one emphasis is that each person has this reservoir of goodness and strength in them, and sometimes they don't know this. And part of what we hope to do with our dialogue and with the survey and the other parts of the dialogues that we have about the different parts of the survey is that you become more acquainted with who you really are. Because I think society, I don't believe our culture and our society, and if I lose you guys here out there in the audience, it's not meant to do that. But if you think about all the different rules and things that we have from our culture, where we come from, in our society, I don't think they teach us a lot of the things we talk about here in Elephant Land.
No, absolutely not.
Because my belief is society says, get out there and get on with it. And that's a good idea, but however, that doesn't teach me how to be a better, stronger human being. It just says, get out there and do this.
No, it doesn't.
So,
And yet, that is the thing that we prize the most. I mean, Joseph Campbell, when he talks about the mythology of heroes in our culture, it's always the same thing. That hero identifies with something that is powerful against him and rises up as the common man, the Green Knight as the common man, and rises above that, recognizing that weakness, and then masters it. And that's really what Finding the Elephant is. Now, we're not all in classic literature.
no.
But the elephant concept is something that we adore. Even if you didn't know to call it an elephant, because it's the little guy, it's the David and Goliath. It is you seeing that there's a situation and rising above it. And every single one of us, that's what I think George is saying, we have that within us. No matter how big the elephant, it's not so big that we can't conquer it.
And a part of getting rid of your huge elephant and having a more tameable one is becoming teachable. In other words, that you don't say, oh man, I got an elephant. No. Accept that you have an elephant. We all got them, different kinds, all that stuff. But learn from the experience. In other words, okay, if I have anxiety like I had in here, I'm not sure what I learned because I'm like, my mind is running so fast right now, but probably what I learned is I am so engaged in this at such a good level, and it feels so good to do this, to talk about this, and to offer, instead of just this little tiny corner here, offer a broad kind of a perspective to people.
Right. I mean, it's not to minimalize that one little square of the people that need and are getting professional help. It's not to minimize that at all. It's to deal with the others and to give you and ourselves, because we have elephants, the help to see it, to conquer it, and to make that little elephant, which is now smaller than we are,
Yeah.
our little buddy, kind of like a Yorkie running around, yapping at our feet.
Okay, so an example of elephants would be, there was a guy named Fritz Perls, who back in the 60s was a humanist psychologist, and he wrote this poem, and he said, I'm not in this world to meet your expectations, and you're not in this world to meet mine. But if we meet in the middle, good. So an example of an elephant might be that if I have an expectation of Fabio, so I get over my nervousness elephant. So we'll do this one time, we'll have a perfect shoot, right? So that's my expectation. But the level of reality is we have to shoot this 50 times until we get the wrinkles out of it, until we get everything said we want to get said. So one way of mastering your high expectation elephant is to reduce the level of the expectation somewhere around the level of reality, that we're not ever going to do this perfect, but the thing is, when we shoot this several times, we'll probably come down to a place where we say, hey, you know what, I'm okay with that. I feel comfortable with that. So so my saying, I'm comfortable with that, gets the elephant smaller.
Well, yes. And the other important part is the more comfortable you are with the elephant, that reality comes up. In other words, what you may think is reality today, what you may think would be comfortable today, actually comes up, not down.
Good point. Okay, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, because as the elephant gets
Because
smaller,
today you got nervous here, and what tomorrow you're not going to be nervous in front of 5,000 people at a seminar.
that's true too. That's true too. So, when you go to the website, and we'll just kind of jump around here, and we'll just share with you what we think here would be helpful as you get into this. Let's see. One thing would we believe in the power of the human being to change and grow and become more. That's one thing. We're going to offer you a lot of different ideas. Now, not all of the ideas may fit. It's like you go out and shop for shoes. You know, you get 6 pairs of different shoes and one of them fits really, really good. So you pick that one shoe. What we're hoping for is you're going to grab onto one piece of each section in the dialogues, and it will help you.
I mean, using the same metaphor, you're going out to dinner, you don't want your hiking boots and you don't want your flip-flops. So the shoes that you need in your life, you'll find that piece. We've tried to address as many of the common elephants that we see out there in the world, both with the self-evaluation and then with the pieces. And later with our certificate and our book, we'll go even in more in depth. But for the website, we wanted to address those issues, let people start thinking about them and thinking about curative measures.